Welcome to Build Your Wealth with Trajan Wealth, featuring this guy. His name is Jeff Jr. He's the, CEO?
CEO, president, owner, founder.
Main dude.
Many different titles. Janitor.
I bet you did do some janitor stuff.
I did janitor. As an owner in a company, you have to be a janitor, you have to be the light bulb changer, you name it.
People never think of that. They always
right.
think, well, you're the boss, you're just sitting down, taking lunches,
right.
2 martini lunches. It doesn't work that way, does it?
Crash taker-outer, you name it. Done it all.
Well, I went to one of your presentations the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Really is good. If you get a chance to go to one of the presentations that you talk about on the radio, it really is interesting. How would you describe those?
I'd describe them fairly light overall. You know, we provide some good, valuable information for everybody. And what you're talking about specifically is the dinner event,
yes.
dinner seminar. So we do it at generally a nice steakhouse, and where we bring about 25 guests to come. And we keep it fairly light, educational, informative, but it's really an opportunity just for people to get to know us, show them what we can do, what we talk about, the topics.
I thought it was very interesting.
Yeah,
I thought they did a great job. And the steak, okay, that was worth going to.
Presentation.
Almost, yeah, almost. You know, one of the things they talk a lot about is retirement, and that's a big thing. You know, how do you know when you're ready to retire? Is that a number? Is it 65? That's the way to go, or is there kind of a financial thing that we should be kind of looking at?
Everybody's a little bit different. You know, everybody's a little bit different. I wish it was as easy as saying at age 65, if you have $1 million in the bank, you're going to be good.
Take a nap.
But it all depends completely on your lifestyle. You know, what you're looking to accomplish, how much money that you've earned, if you want to maintain that same lifestyle, if you want to move, if you want to have a couple different houses. So it's really specific to that individual and their needs.
Okay, so there's no number. I don't have a number where I should go, okay, I've raised, saved, for me, $25,000. I'm ready to retire.
Right,
yeah, that's
right. Whether it's $25,000 or $250,000 or even in some cases $250 million. Really depends on the lifestyle and the goals that you want to achieve.
I would like to be the guy that's worried about the $250 million.
It was funny. We have a quick story. We had a client who had $100 million, and his biggest concern was running out of money when he retired.
Come on.
Crazy. You'd think, but it all depends on how much you're spending and what your lifestyle is.
Wow. Wow. That's a lifestyle I'd like to learn how to get used to.
Everybody wants that problem, right?
401ks. I know a lot of people have them. What do you think about them?
401ks are great. I think the biggest benefit, there's 2 big benefits with a 401k. The first is it's tax, there's tax advantages, meaning when you put money into a 401k, you don't have to pay taxes on it. Okay, so it comes off of your ordinary income. The other benefit on the tax advantage side is it grows tax deferred. So when you put that money in there, it's allowed to grow tax deferred until you take it out.
Okay.
The other big benefit, though, is there's generally company matching. Oftentimes a company may give you dollar for dollar up to 3% or dollar for dollar up to 6%. So that's really 100% return on your money, not to mention what the investments are doing. So I think they're generally a good thing.
Okay, but I guess when you start getting closer to retirement, you want to look at that 401k and maybe there's some things that you can help with. Is that true?
Of course, yeah. I mean, as you get closer to retirement, that all goes back to now risk tolerance and how much risk you want to take as you get closer to retirement, because if the market crashes or goes down significantly, you may have to deter your retirement date because you don't have enough money to retire off of. So it comes back to risk tolerance, time horizon, what your objectives are.
Are there some things that I should be looking at? I mean, obviously I want to come, and this is just me talking hypothetical, but obviously I want to come and talk to someone at Trajan Wealth.
Please do.
Yeah,
please do.
What kind of things do you sit down and talk about? What are some of the things that we're looking at to try to decide when is the time to retire?
Well, I think we have a process that we follow as far as appointments. So I'll kind of give you an example of a typical process. So the first appointment is 60 minutes or less, and it's really an opportunity that our advisors get an opportunity to learn about the client situation. What are your goals? What are your hopes? What are your dreams? How much do you have currently? How much are you looking to have? So it's 60 minutes or less. Nothing is being sold. It's more of an education. This is what you have, and here are some different options that are available to you to help you prepare for your retirement. And then if the advisor feels the client is a good fit for our firm, and obviously the client feels that they're a good fit for our firm, then they'll move to a second appointment. In the second appointment, that's when we get a little bit more detailed about their financial situation, meaning we'll take a look at what investments they have currently, and we'll explain what risk means. We'll explain time horizons. We'll explain how different investments react in different market conditions. And then we start really kind of formulating a plan. And then generally our appointment process lasts about 2 to 3 appointments. Kind of back to back. We like keeping appointments within a week of each other. Oh. That way nothing falls through the cracks. It kind of keeps the conversation moving forward. And then from there, after we earn the client's business and everybody agrees that they're a good fit for one another, then we'll do periodic reviews. And how often those reviews happen are really going to be dependent on the client's objectives. Sometimes clients like quarterly reviews, other people like annual reviews. Heck, some people don't ever want a review. They just kind of put it in our hands, which we're happy with.
Right. Well, one of the things I like about that, it sounds like you're not going, okay, everybody gets the same treatment. It's all the same. It's not cookie cutter.
Definitely not cookie cutter.
I think that would be a real mistake just for some companies doing that.
Yep. I mean, we have some clients who are retired in their 50s, and then we have some clients who say, I never really want to retire. All I want to do is give all my money to my grandkids. So everybody's situation is completely different, and that's why the cookie cutter approach is just a horrible approach. Yeah. A lot of firms do it. We don't do it.
I did not have grandparents that said that. I want to keep working just to give it.
Neither did I. Neither did I.
So Jeff, I think one of the tough things that people worry about is, when do I decide to retire and how do I know when to do that? I'm guessing that's a question you get a lot.
We do. I mean, there is no simple answer. I wish it was as simple as saying, if you have this much money and you want to retire at this age, you can. But unfortunately, it just doesn't work. We have to take a little bit deeper of a dive, meaning how much income are you going to need? How much supplemental income do you have from items such as maybe your pension or maybe your Social Security? So it's not as easy as just saying, this is when I want to retire, this is how much money I have, can I do it? The answer is yes or no. It really kind of depends on the situation.
So when do I come to you and start asking you, is there an age? I'm 55, I'm starting to go, uh-oh.
You can never be too early, but you also can never be too late either.
Okay, my daughter's 20. She should be coming in.
She should start at least saving. I'd say for somebody in their 20s and 30s, it's a little bit different of a scenario, obviously, than it is for somebody in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. Because obviously you're getting closer. In your 20s and 30s, you have a lot of time left. So the most important thing for a 20-year-old to do or a 30-year-old to do is to start saving systematically. Get in the habit. Because one problem that I find with 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds is there's never enough money. And frankly, there never will be.
Right.
But if you get in the habit very young and you do a systematic out of your checking account or out of your paycheck, it's much easier. Like my son as an example, he went in the Air Force right after high school. And as soon as he went in the Air Force, I had a systematic out of $1,000 a month.
Wow.
Now, they don't get paid a lot in the Air Force, but my son didn't have a choice. He hated me initially. He loves me today. He's been doing it for about 6 years now. But I did a systematic out of $1,000 a month on a total paycheck of about $2,400.
Wow.
He found a way to get by. Him and his buddies kind of bunked up and got a house. But you'll make it happen knowing that. But what I say is just get started. Now, $1,000 a month may be an extreme. Luckily, not everybody has me as a dad.
Right.
But in most people's scenarios, it's just a matter of take $20 a month, take $30 a month, $50, $100, and then you can build from it. After you see a little progress, one thing my dad always taught me was that's seed money. Just put a little money away.
Okay.
Don't cash out your entire piggy bank. Leave a few dollars in there. It's seed money. But as you get older, once you get in your 50s and your 60s, now it's not a matter of just starting to save. It's a matter of continuing to save, but then directing those assets that you have saved in a proper manner, because you can't invest the same way when you're 50 and 60 that you did when you were 20.
And have you noticed that today's kids, we were stupid. Let's be,
all
when
of us
we're stupid.
Absolutely.
But today, I go to the finest steakhouses, right? And I'm seeing 21-year-olds, just party. Right. It's like, how do you afford? I can barely afford that.
Right.
And I'm thinking they're not following your advice of putting a little bit away.
They might be. They might have a silver spoon in their mouth. Who knows? You never really know these days. There's a lot of there's a lot of young people that are very wealthy from tech money or whatever. So you can't really judge a book by its cover. But
I'm going to judge the book. I'm judging the book right now. I'm thinking they're not following that advice because it's such great advice. It's such great advice. Now, one more quick thing, and then we're going to have to get going. That's that 401k. And that is, do I leave it with my company all the way till I retire, through my retirement, or is there, that's kind of a tough one too.
Because oftentimes people are just so accustomed to putting it in their 401k and they leave it there and they don't know what their options are.
Right.
So I'd say, generally speaking, you never want to leave it in your existing 401k once you retire. Generally never.
Wow.
I say generally, but generally never do you want to leave it in there. And the reason is because there could be additional costs associated when you're no longer an employee. Oftentimes when you're an employee, the company offsets some of the costs within the plan.
Right.
No longer an employee, so there might be additional costs.
Okay.
Also, within a 401k, companies establish 401ks with limited investment options. And the reason they put limited investment options in there is they don't want the employees to get confused about all the different investment options they have. So generally speaking, you'll notice the same in your 401k, you might have 10, 15, maybe 20 investment options available to choose from.
Okay.
Once you retire, that limited options may not be suited for you. So rolling it over into an IRA is generally the best option. And the best thing about that too is you don't have to worry about taxes because it's considered a rollover.
Right, and I'm guessing, again, you can help with that.
We can help with that, absolutely.
All right, so if you want to find out more how to work with Jeff and his amazing team at Trajan Wealth, just go to TrajanWealth.com. We have phone numbers here as well. You can also follow Jeff on Facebook and Twitter. All of that you can, again, see here on the screen. We sure appreciate you. Make sure you watch every week and share. Subscribe to this program and share it. Subscribe and also hit that notification so you know each and every week when the show comes out. For Jeff Jr., I'm Rusty Humphries, and thanks for hanging out with us as we build your wealth with Trajan Wealth.
Investment advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor.